So what's up, guys? I got a new channel here, and I'm newly into bike life, and I've been hitting it kind of hard. And I think it's because I've subscribed to some different channels like Insane Throttle, that's it, right? Yeah. Moto Jiu-Jitsu. Who else? I bought a new vest from First MFG, and I used Fanatics 25. Moto Fanatic? I think that's the channel. Anyway, I have behind me here a Honda Fury. Now, to get the ball rolling, to get this started, I was at the Harley dealership with my father from California out visiting over Christmas time, taking me to the Harley dealership. He wanted to get a local Round Rock, Texas shirt. So upon going in there, I was talking to one of the sales guys, and he's like, "Hey, what kind of bike you got at home?" And I told him I had a Yamaha R1 06. And he's like, into the little computer, and actually tells me that they'll give me $4,000 for this thing that has rust in the tank and it isn't running, to trade it in. So right there, I'm all about Harley Davidson. My mom died 2 years ago. My dad's 74, and he's become a new person. In part, thanks to the help from the Harley culture, motorcycle riding, and he's never ridden a street bike before in his whole life, ever. At 74, he ended up picking up a Tri-Glide, and he's a new person. Wears a leather jacket, got leather chaps, hangs out with the club. He's a hang around with the club at 74, man, and the guy feels like a pimp now. So anyway, the $4,000 trade-in for my old crotch rocket got the ball rolling. And then I'm looking for Harleys, and I'm at the dealership, and I'm digging the culture. I'm watching Insane Throttle. I'm always had sort of a desire to roll with a club, like a 1% club, Diamond Club. And but I never really had the time. Even when I rode my crotch rocket, I did about maybe a combined 50,000 miles of street riding, but never on anything bigger than a sport bike or dirt bikes or enduros versus dual sport, Honda CRF 450 with a license plate on it. You know the deal. My reason in looking at Harley Davidson in the showroom, they were real weird about letting me test ride anything. They set up an appointment. They said they would let me do it. I had to check all the boxes, jump through the hoops. And then the day of my appointment when I was supposed to ride, they told me I needed boots. It's at the end of the day. I needed boots. Why didn't you tell me that 2 days before when I made the appointment? Long story short, the sales guy I'm working with isn't working the next day. He postpones me out 2 more days to go get my boots. I had an appointment later that day. I couldn't run home and get boots. So the next day, I make an appointment with him, but then the next day I thought, I'm going to go up here and look at this motorsports shop right now in Georgetown. And I go up there, and they got one of these Honda Furies out there. This one. If it had stock pipes on it and was mostly in stock condition, I probably would have bypassed. Probably wouldn't have got it. But being that it has, I think those are called Cobra pipes, right? Being that it has the Cobra pipes on it, I thought, wow, that's just a few miles from my house, dude. I'm going to jump on this. I picked it up for like 10 grand. It's a little high. I didn't have all the money. I had about half, and I needed some financing. I got financing through Honda. It's pretty rad. It's a Honda. And it's a Honda, right? That brings up a whole bunch of shit. And it's that stupid question that's already been asked. Why didn't you get Harley? And at first I had some buyer's remorse. I got on that bike. I rode it 45 miles with the forward foot controls. Weird. I really wanted to have some mid controls to rest these old skateboarder knees on. So that was weird. A few times I tried to take my feet, back and find some middle relaxation point. Didn't happen. So I'm getting used to that, but it's like anything else. Riding a new bike or riding a crotch rocket for the first time, you got to get used to that reaching forward, laying on the tank. And to somebody that's never ridden one or doesn't have hours on one, That's really awkward. And I compare it to like snowboarding or skiing. The first time you strap your feet up into some snowboard boots to bindings on a board, you're kind of forcing them and you're fighting them and you're tweaked out and you're trying to get control of it, but there's no control of it. You're not moving it. So you just need to relax. You need to find your balance point, you know. Ski boots the same way, you know. Stop struggling. Just conform to their position until it becomes second nature to you. So since then, this bike has gotten very comfortable with those. I still would like to have a middle set motocross peg, maybe floorboard. Take whatever I can get on the right leg, kind of because I kind of want to post up on the back peg, and then I want to do a wheelie on that thing. That's another video though. Why did I buy Honda? And it's really quite simple. I pay extra money to get a Honda generator over a Champion. I pay extra money to buy a Honda car over a Ford Focus. Wouldn't you? Wouldn't you? Like, made in America is great. To a certain point, man. I choose to ride American-made skateboard trucks versus all the crap that's mass-produced in China. I'll do it all day long. But when it involves an engine and a loan, I want that thing to be turnkey, man. I don't want to be dealing with leaky oil or brakes or overheating or just any of that crap. And with a Honda, you don't. So I got a Toyota Tundra over here. Love my Toyota Tundra. I got a Toyota Tacoma. I got a Nissan Pathfinder. That's a big piece of shit. I recommend you don't buy one of those. But metric vehicles, generators, things like that, they cost more because they're worth more. But now for some reason, when it comes down to a motorcycle, I'm going to pay $5,000, $6,000 more for a Harley. Why? This is what I was wrestling with in my head when I was at the dealership. Because at the Harley dealership, I'm looking at bikes that are a lot more money, they have a lot more miles, and they're a lot older. This bike had 3,000 miles on it. It's 2020. Somebody barely broke it in. The culture, the club life, and the idea that clubs don't want you to ride with them or won't let you join up unless you've got a Harley Davidson or maybe an American-made bike in some clubs. Doesn't work for me anymore, I guess. I just asked myself right out of that group, and that's fine. I don't have the time for that anyway, and that was the other deciding factor. I work a lot, too many jobs. I'm not going to wash somebody's bike at any point, so maybe I'm just not the type of character to be in a club like that. I'd like to have some friends to ride with, or maybe hang around a club. Maybe that's more my style, if you're allowed to do that on a metric bike. So I've become a metric bro. I've always been, though. Like I said, my generator's Honda. I prefer Honda cars, and I got a Honda bike. So anyway, that's my 2 cents.